principles for the benefit of all human beings like us. Because they are absorbed in the mode of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nashta Prayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. Thank you very much for joining. In the beginning, I'll give a gist of what was covered yesterday. Then today's portion will be covered thereafter. At the end, I'll give a conclusive opinion or decision or the answer to the two questions which arose yesterday, and no conclusive answer could be given for those questions. That will I'll give. Then another thing I want to announce today, as I was saying yesterday, as per Srila Prabhupada, we are supposed to read cantos 1 to 9 before coming to 10. But why we have started with 10? Because earlier we had complete Srimad Bhagavatam from canto 1 to 12. But now Archana Mataji has volunteered to give a gist of these cantos 1 to 9, so that we follow the complete thing. So toward that end, I will be revising the schedule. That is, after 30th December, the second, in each weekend, the second, which is reserved for Bhagavatam, we will have the Bhagavat cantos summary in that. So that is very nice gesture, and I thank Archana Mataji on behalf of all the devotees. Now I will give a very short brief of what we covered yesterday. In the very beginning, we started with the Krishna Lila Stava by Sanatana Goswami, which was sung even today by Raksha Mataji. Then thereafter, we learned that in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, which contains 90 chapters, 40 chapters they are devoted for Vrindavan Leela, 11 chapters for Mathura Leela, and 39 chapters for Dwarka Leela, thus 90 chapters. Then we learned that as per Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the 5 most important points or forms of Bhakti Yoga, and that's what we are doing. Then we learned how Vyasadeva compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam in the maturity of his knowledge. That means he had compiled the 17 Purana plus Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavatam came at the end. Then how Srimad Bhagavatam's cantos are Lord Krishna's limbs, this also we saw in today's Kirtan. And then in very great detail we saw the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are found only in Srimad Bhagavatam. In other Puranas, all the 10 topics, they are not there. Some are there, but not all the 10. And these are Sarga, that is the universal creation by the Supreme Lord. Visarga, the secondary creation by Lord Brahma. Sthanam, positioning of the living entities. Osanam, the Lord's protection for the devotees. Uti, the inclination to act. Manvantara, the reign of the Manuj. Isanukatha, the topics of the Lord's various incarnations and his devotees, Nirodha, annihilation, Mukti, liberation, and Asraya. These 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are there, we saw in very, very great detail. And this knowledge is necessary for us because we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam in such detail. Then we discussed about Srimad Bhagavatam in very great detail. The first and second cantos of the Bhagavatam are considered the lotus feet of Krishna. They form a perfect prelude to the rest of the Bhagavatam. Then third and fourth cantos, they discuss about the Sarga and Visarga, the primary and the secondary creation of the Supreme Lord. Then the fifth canto corresponds to the navel of the Supreme Lord. And then the sixth canto represents the chest of Krishna. It is primarily centered on the theme of Osanam. And the seventh canto and the eighth canto, they represent the arms of the Supreme Lord. Seventh canto describes uti or inclination, and we learned inclination that is of two types, auspicious and inauspicious. Then we learned about Suddha Bhakti and Misra Bhakti. Then eighth canto represents the theme of Manvantara Avatara, the reign of the various Manus. The ninth canto talks of Isanu Katha. The 10th canto talks of Asraya and the various Leelas of Lord Krishna. 11th canto, which corresponds to the forehead of Krishna, primarily describes the topic of Mukti or liberation, and the 12th canto corresponds to the head of Lord Krishna and describes the topic of Nirodha or destruction. Thus, we have seen that the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are described in very great detail in the various cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, I'm sure you are able to see the slide.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Now, yesterday we have seen till serial 6. Now, the last 4 things, that is the 4 sampradayas, because we keep on talking about the sampradayas, we'll know a little. Then the sequence of Krishna's pastimes in Braja, when he was there for 11 years in Braja, what all happened, that we'll see. And how Srimad Bhagavatam is the most authentic narration, and what will happen to us, what benefit we will get if we study Srimad Bhagavatam, that we'll see. And at the end, I will describe about the commentators of Srimad Bhagavatam. As I have said, there are I have taken 16 commentators who are describing each verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. But please remember that there will be no repetition. If 2 acharyas are saying the same thing, then it will be described once only. So with this, let us come on to the sampradayas. And as you know, there are 4 Vaishnava sampradayas. And the other sampradayas, they are offshoots of these sampradayas. Now, a question had come earlier that are the devotees from these sampradayas only, they can go to the spiritual world? No, I had answered, it is not so. Any devotee can go to the spiritual world, there is no doubt in that. And when in the next weekend I cover one of the stories given in Bhakta Maaal, you realize that it is not necessary to be in one of the sampradayas. One can be the greatest devotee even if he is not in any of the sampradayas. But we are talking of these 4 Vaishnava sampradayas, which is totally authorized. Now, these sampradayas are Brahma Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. Very briefly, Brahma Sampradaya is also called Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and also Madhava Sampradaya. That means it has got three names: Brahma Sampradaya, Madhava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. The prominent acharyas are Madhavacharya and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is the tattva which is discussed? It is Madhavacharya, he discussed the Suddha Dvaita Vada or purified dualism. What is that we are not discussing today? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave the Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva. So this is about Brahma Sampradaya. Then Lakshmi Sampradaya. Lakshmi Sampradaya is also called Ramanuja Sampradaya. It is also called Sri Sampradaya, or it is also called Srinivasa Sampradaya. That means Lakshmi Sampradaya is known as Ramanuja Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Srinivasa Sampradaya, like this. And the prominent Acharya on this line is Ramanuja Acharya. And the Tattva is Visishta, Visishta Advaita Bhava, specific Manoism. Then third is Shiva Sampradaya. Shiva Sampradaya is also known as Rudra Sampradaya, or it is also known as Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, or known as Vallabha Sampradaya also. And the prominent acharyas are Vishnu Swami and Vallabhacharya. And the tattva is Suddha Advaita Vada, that is purified Manoism. Now come to the fourth Sampradaya, that is the Kumara Sampradaya. Kumara Sampradaya, that is also known as Nimbarka Sampradaya or Nimbaditya Sampradaya or Sanakadi Sampradaya. And Acharya, the prominent Acharya in this line is Nimbarka. And the tattva which they teach, that is Dvaito Advaita Vada, that is monoism and dualism. Sometime we will go through them, what is the difference. Then we come to the sequence of Krishna's pastimes in Braja. Now that is divided into three portions: the Balya Leela, Oganda Leela, and the Kaishora Leela. Now Balya Leela, it is up to 3 years and 4 months. This is as per Saratha Darshini Tika of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, or up to 5 years of age by human standard. That means actually it is 3 years, 4 months, but if we try to think in our terms, then it is up to about 5 years. Now in this, what happened in the 10th canto, 3rd chapter, Krishna's Abhirbhava, how he came up, how he was born, that is given in the 3rd chapter. Then the Jatakarma Sanskara, or the birthrights, or what is basically known as the Nandotsava, that is given in the 5th chapter of 10th canto, basically in the first 18 verses. Then thereafter, in the 6th chapter, we read Putana liberation. And this happened when Krishna was hardly 10 days old. Then Krishna, when he was 3 months old, the Leela of Krishna kicks the cart and he kills the cart demon. This is also given in the Garga Samhita and also given in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana also. Now then the next thing, Krishna and Balrama's name giving ceremony, anytime from the 10th day to 100th day. That is about 3.5 months. And even some acharyas say that it happened 1 year after. Now, this is also given in Brahma Vaivarta Purana on Garga's order. Nanda, he requested Gargamuni to come for the name giving ceremony. It is also given in Brahma Vaivarta Purana and also in Garga Samhita. Then Nanda feeds his first grains, then Anna Prasannam. This is not given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but this is given in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. And then Krishna and Balarama, they crawl in the covered village of Braja, that is given in Garga Samhita and also given in the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Krishna and Balarama pull the tails of calves and they are dragged by the calves. All these stories, they are all given in the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. We will be studying them in detail. Then Krishna and Balarama, they start walking. This is also given in the 8th chapter. Then Trinavarta is killed. This is given in Srimad Bhagavatam also and given in Garga Samhita also. Then Krishna showed Yashoda the universal form in his mouth for the first time. And this is given in the 7th chapter of 10th canto. Then Krishna steals and eats dairy products in Braja. This is given in Srimad Bhagavatam 8th chapter, 10th canto, and also in Garga Samhita. Then Krishna eats earth. That is also given in the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Krishna shows Yasoda the universal form in his mouth for a second time. 8th chapter. Then Krishna breaks a pot of yogurt after Yasoda put him aside to lift boiling milk of the stove. That is the Damodar Lila, which we are going through in this Kartika month. That is given in the 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then there we hear the story how Krishna is bound to the mortar by Yasoda, and then the Lord addresses he liberates the two sons of Kubera. This is given in the 10th chapter. Then who frees Nanda, who frees Krishna from that? Nanda Maharaj, he comes and frees Krishna from the mortar. Then the cowherd ladies make Krishna sing and dance. This is given in the 11th chapter. And Krishna fetches items at their bidding. This is given in the same 11th chapter. And the fruit seller story gives fruits to Krishna and her basket becomes filled with gems. And then Rohini and Yasoda Balrama and Krishna who were playing outside for eating. All these stories, they are given in the 11th chapter. Then Krishna invites his friends to lunch on the sand bank, that is in the 13th chapter. That is when during the time when he and his friends, they were taking the calves for grazing in the nearby forest. Then during that time, what had happened? Brahma had abducted the calves and the boys, and Krishna expands in their forms. And this occurred in the autumn after Krishna had turned 3 years old. This is given in the 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. And then Brahma sees the 400 form of Krishna and offers his obeisances to Krishna. And Krishna is praised by Brahma, that is given in the 14th chapter of 10th canto. Now, this is all about the Balya Lila. And then Poganda Lila. Poganda Lila means between 3 years and 4 months and 6 years and 8 months. As per Sarathadarshini Tika of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And or we can say from the 6th year of age up to 10 years of age by human standard for our own understanding. And in Poganda Lila, what all pastimes took place? Krishna starts tending the cows in the Kartika of his 5th year, which was celebrated just a few days back. This is given in the 15th chapter. Then Krishna and the boys play in Mandirvana. that is given in Harivamsa Purana also, and in Bhagavatam also. And then Krishna subdues Kaliya Lila. That happened in the summer of his fifth year when he was 5 years old. This is given by the given in the Labhu Vaishnava Tosani by Jiva Goswami, and it is given in the 16th chapter of 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the gopis show anugraha when Krishna in the Kaliya's coils, and Krishna is praised by Kaliya's wives, and Krishna saves the residents of Braja from the conflagration that happened in the summer. This is given in the 17th chapter of 10th canto. These were the Leelas of the Poganda Leela. Then about Kaisora Leela, in Kaisora Leela, Kaisora age means 6 years, 8 months to 10 years and 7 months, as per Saraswadarsini Tika. Or as per human standards, it is from the 11th year of age up to 15 years of age by human standards. Now in this, what all happened? Balrama, accompanied by Krishna, he killed Dhenukasura. This is given in the 15th chapter. The gopis' first display of love when Krishna returns to the village. This occurred at the end of the day Dhenuka was killed, on the same day only. And there are many other things also given by various acharyas who will come to know. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna lived in Mahavana in the Poganda, and he lived in Vrindavana, and in no, he in Balya Leela he stayed in Mahavana, in Poganda Leela stayed in Vrindavana, and in Kaisora Leela he lived in Nandagrama. It is unknown when Krishna moved from Vrindavan to Nandagaon. This is not given anywhere, including in the Sarthadarsani Tika, and there are many other commentaries that in between we will also learn. Then Krishna and Balrama play in Vrindavana with the cowherd boys in the summer, given in the 18th chapter. Then Krishna and Balrama play in Bhandirvana with the boys. Balrama kills Pralambasura in the summer of Krishna's 7th year. Now Krishna extinguishes another conflagration and instantly sends the boys and himself to Bhandirvana. This is given in the 19th chapter. Then the gopis felt one moment to be like 100 yugas before Krishna returned to the village. This is given in the 19th chapter. Then Krishna and Balrama and the boys have fun in the forest in the rainy season. This is given in the 20th chapter. Also given in the 20th chapter, in the autumn, Krishna dispels the gopis' fire of separation. Krishna's then in the 21st chapter gives Krishna plays the flute and he is praised by the gopis, that is the Venu Gita in the autumn season. Then Krishna stops the sacrifice to Indra and inaugurates the worship of Govardhana hill, that is given in the 24th chapter. Then Krishna lifts Govardhana, that is in the 25th chapter. Then Krishna shows his own abode to the cowards, that is the Brajavasis, that is given in the 28th chapter. Krishna steals the garments of the virgin gopis in the winter, that is in the 22nd chapter. Then Krishna shows favor to the wives of the ritualistic Brahmanas, given in the 23rd chapter. And then Krishna performs the Rasa dance, given in the 29th chapter. Then Krishna saves Nanda from being swallowed by a snake in the 34th chapter, and also in that killing of Sankachuda. Then Krishna kills Kesi Demon and Bhyomasura there in the 37th chapter. And Krishna and Balarama, they receive Akrura when he visits Braja. Then Krishna and Balarama depart from Braja with Akrura, that is given in the 39th chapter. and Krishna and Balrama so approved their respective forms. That is also given in 39th chapter. And in 40th chapter, Krishna and Balrama are praised by Akrura. And then thereafter, these 40 chapters, they end the Braja Leela, Vrindavan Leela. Then in the 41st chapter, we find description of Krishna and Balrama entering Mathura. Then 11 chapters of Mathura Leela and 39 chapters of Dwarka Leela. Now various acharyas, they give the different explanations about all these that we learn in very great detail. Then we come to the point of the most authentic narration of Srimad Bhagavatam, how it is and what is the proof that the Srimad Bhagavatam is most authentic, and all the things we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam only. The Bhagavatam ends with its own unparalleled glories, of which there is one verse which says that from the beginning to the end, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations that encourage renunciation of material life, as well as it gives account of Lord Hari's transcendental pastimes. It is given in the 12th canto, 13th chapter. 12th canto, 13th chapter, it gives actually a complete rundown of Srimad Bhagavatam in that. Then the expanse and depth of Bhagavatam is better appreciated from the commentaries of various acharyas of the spiritual teachers. And Srila Prabhupada, he mentions that about Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that there is no doubt about the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. And with the last 500 years, many scholars and acharyas like Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Ballavacharya, and many other distinguished scholars, even after the time of Lord Chaitanya, have made commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. And the serious student should do well to attempt to go through them to release the transcendental messages given by the Supreme Lord. And the study of the Bhagavatam is done with the explanations of bona fide Vaishnava acharyas, because it gives sincere and unparalleled understanding of the supreme absolute truth, that is the Lord Krishna. And it is said that we studied what Sanatana Goswami says, that Sarva Vedanta Saramhi Bhagavatam Isyate. Srimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of the Vedic philosophy. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, there is a verse which says that Idam Bhagavatam Nama Pranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Sloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Yusi Nistrasya Lokasya Dhanam Swatyayanam Mahat. It means the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord Krishna. That means this book printed in the press is as good as Supreme Lord. There is no difference between Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is compiled by Sri Vyasadeva. Remember, it is what we are saying. It is compiled, not written. It was already there. And it is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful and blissful and perfect. And therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless sound representation of all Vedic knowledge and history. And there are selected histories of great devotees who are in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Lord Krishna and is therefore none different from him. and Srimad Bhagavatam should be worshipped as respectful as the Supreme Lord Himself. Then there is another verse in the first canto, third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that Krishna Sudhana Pagate Dharma Jnana Divisaha Kalo Nasta Dusha Seva Puranarka Adhunati. That means the Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, renunciation, etc. And persons who have lost their vision due to the darkness of ignorance of the Kali Yuga, they shall get light from this Purana. This is what is said. Then in another verse, okay, then we come to what we will get by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. This, you remember, there are few verses, 17 to 21, these 5 verses, they are quoted by our dear Charu Prabhuji very frequently. And I'll be reciting them and I'll be telling the meaning. This is what is we'll get if we study Srimad Bhagavatam. And the first verse, that is Srunvatang Sokatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Udyantas Avadrani Vidhunoti Satan. The Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who is residing as the super soul in all of us, everyone's heart, and who is the benefactor of the truthful devotee, he cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. That means even if somebody has not started reading Srimad Bhagavatam, but he just has a urge to study Srimad Bhagavatam, then Lord Krishna comes and stays in the heart. Then what to speak of when somebody reads Srimad Bhagavatam, when somebody hears Srimad Bhagavatam, when somebody talks about Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that, what happens? It clinches the desire for material enjoyment. And our basic problem in this material world is we are hankering after material enjoyment. And that can be eradicated just by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Just reading Srimad Bhagavatam and doing nothing. You don't have to do anything else. This is so simple. In so simple terms, the Lord has said this in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the next verse is Nashta prayesu avadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati neshti. We keep on repeating this verse in the beginning of every class. It basically means by regular attendance in the Bhagavatam classes and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. Almost completely destroyed means almost 100%. It is not 100%. Certain things, little impurities, they still remain. But almost everything gets that is taken out from the heart. And loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is praised in the transcendental literature, is established, and this is a true fact. This is what happens if you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, but one has to attend the Bhagavatam classes regularly. One may say, what about our Bhagavatam classes? He is talking about our Bhagavatam classes or the Bhagavatam classes which are held in the temples and which are taken by the Acharya. No, any Bhagavatam class. If somebody attends regularly, not once in a while, but regularly, then all these benefits one will get. Then the third verse is Tada Rajastamo Bhava kama lobha dayaschata tejang etiranavidhyam sitang sattva prasidati. That means as soon as loving devotional service is established in the heart, the effects of the three modes of material nature that goes away. That is the modes of passion and ignorance, such as the lust, desire, hankering, that disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. This is what happens when somebody reads or attends the Srimad Bhagavatam classes. Then what happens? Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogatah bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Now, thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man, the person, the devotee whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this stage of liberation from all material association. This is the final thing. Then what happens? Vidyate hridaya granthi chindyate sarva sansaya kiyate chasya karmani drushta evatmanishvare. Thus the knot in the heart which is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. Now the chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Now this is what happens when we just hear Srimad Bhagavatam or when we read Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, it is necessary for us to get indulged in such activities and we will be greatly benefited by this. So with this, let us have a 5 minutes break. Then after this, I'll talk about the commentators of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the commentators happen to be from all the four sampradayas. That's why I described about the sampradayas also today. So after 5 minutes break, we will talk about these commentators in very brief. I will not talk about Srila Prabhupada because we all know about Srila Prabhupada, but many of the other acharyas one may not be knowing, may not have full knowledge. Therefore, let us know about them before coming proper Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, first chapter. And in the next the weekend, we'll be starting with Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto proper. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रभु जी, चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी ने जो भागवतम के बारे में कहा है, उसका बहुत ही अच्छा श्लोक है, वो मैं पढ़ सकती हूँ?
यस यस यस।
ओके प्रभु। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो। आराध्य भगवान व्रजेश तन्यस तत्ताम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधु वर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद् भागवतम प्रमाणमलम प्रेमा पुमार्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Actually, this verse is given in Chaitanya Matta Manjusa. In that book. And that is a very, very famous verse which everybody should remember.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, the translation also should be given, and these verses, the important verses, should be like if you put it on the WhatsApp, then we can go through it.
Okay. Well,
And
yes. Once we start Srimad Bhagavatam, what the format I will follow, the verse will be given in the slide, and I will request someone to read that verse, and also the translation given by Srila Prabhupada in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why I have requested when our classes start on the 10th canto, everyone should have Srimad Bhagavatam in front of him or her, so that that can be referred. That I suppose or I assume that you would have already read what is given by Srimad Srila Prabhupada in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but about the other acharyas and various other points we'll be discussing. We'll not be discussing what Srila Prabhupada has given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So yes.
Okay, Prabhuji, so will you tell us beforehand only that which are the verses that you'll be doing on that day so that we...
Yes. Actually, I will not be discussing more than 2-3 verses in one session. Like in the first session, that is next weekend, day 2, we'll be talking of verses 1 and 2 only. Why 1 and 2? I will tell you that day. What Sridhar Swami says, what Jiva Swami says, how many lines are there in that verse. Like this, somebody says 2 lines, somebody says 6 lines, like this. That's why I am combining. And how it is that, it is because of that, it is not more than 2 to 3 verses. And most likely not more than even 2 verses per session also. So, therefore, I will request everybody to read those verses and read the meanings of those verses and the purport given by Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavatam. And that will help in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam much better. So this is my only request to everybody. And everybody must be having Srimad Bhagavatam at home only, and one should read it. It may be in any language, it doesn't matter, but the understanding should be there, so that what else we speak, that will be understood clearly. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sure,
Yes, thank
Prabhuji,
you
we
so
will
much.
do. Sure, Prabhuji.
It will be very wonderful for us.
Prabhuji, I will try to recite the verses.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
प्रभु जी हमें भक्ति वैभव क्लास में सबको कंपलसरी है वर्सेस को पढ़ना। हमारे माता जी सबको बुलवाते हैं वर्सेस, तो उस बारे हम सीख सके थोड़ा।
Yes. We should know at least some verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, at least those which are important. And there are actually 4 small books which gives the important verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. We can have that, but we will be going through all the verses.
Prabhuji, in the devotee, the Bhaktas list of Bhakta Maaal, the Varkari devotees are not covered from the, like Janabai, Tukaram and...
Yeah. Actually, I have just given at random. I have given some of them. Please, please write to me, give the WhatsApp message, which all you want to be included. There are actually thousands and thousands of devotees. It is given in the Bhakta Maaal also. And later on, I will be getting some other books also, getting the devotees in the recent past, which have appeared in Brajabhumi and other areas, all those people who are not very well known to very many people, will include all those, and whatever knowledge we can acquire from these books, we should share with everybody. And please remember that the best thing which will happen by studying the biographies of the saints, studying Bhakta Maaal, as per Priyadas, who is the commentator of this Bhakta Maaal, he says that our false ego that will be taken care of. So that is so important. All our obstacles are because of our false ego. And if we just hear them, if we study them, if it goes out, then we will be very much benefited. And please remember that in Bhaktamal, the Bhaktamal and its commentary, they are not considered different. The commentary of Priyadas is considered the same or as important as the original Bhaktamal. So it is a very great book. Actually, the lot of people read it. Let us go through them and let us know why people are reading that, why people are studying the biographies of the saints. That will come to us after we experience for some time. So let us commence from where we left. Now the 16 commentators which I was telling about whom we'll be talking about. Now the first is Sridhar Swami. Now about Sridhar Swami, about each one of them I will discuss. Then the second is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Then Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Baladev Vidyabhusana. These you know them, but many others you may not be familiar with, like Srinath Pandita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, yes, you know it, Madhavacharya, you know it, Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha, you may not be knowing, Veera Raghava, Sudarshan Suri, Balvacharya, you may be knowing. Sukadev is not Sukadev Goswami, he is Sukadev Swami, he is different one. Then Vamsidhara Pandita, Pandit Ganga Sahai, and Srila Prabhupada. Now, these are the various commentators of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this I have taken from a book known as Srimad Bhagavatam, a symphony of commentaries of the 10th canto, and there the authors are, you are very familiar with the Gopi Pranadana Prabhu, Matsya Avatar Dasa, and they have compiled this book, the commentary I have taken from that only. Now let us talk one by one. The first is Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami, he appeared in the 12th century. Now his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, that is known as Bhavartha Deepika. Now, he is in which line, which Vaishnava Sampradaya? He is in Vishnu Swami's line. And in that is known as the Rudra Sampradaya. The presiding deity is Rudra only. Yet, Sridhar Swami prays to Nrsimhadev. The meaning of Bhavartha Deepika is, it illuminates the meaning of Bhava, or a lamp for the goal of Bhava. And Sridhar Swami explains the term Bhava as Bhakti only in Bhavartha Deepika. And in Vedanta philosophy, as we know, the scriptural authority is the foremost. Therefore, Sridhar Swami, he gives the scriptural authority everywhere. And it is because of this that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared Sridhar Swami is the authoritative commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that whosoever disregards the Swami, is known as Swami, Sridhar Swami, is to be counted amongst the prostitutes. That is what is the knowledge, what is the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That means whatever he has written, that is totally authentic and it is approved by none other than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is written that I understand Bhagavatam by the grace of Sridhar Swami. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. And that's why he says that I consider that he is the spiritual master of the universe. He is Guru. And whatever he writes, if anybody writes beyond Sridhar Swami out of pride, that would be contrary to the real meaning. And people should not pay any attention toward it. And one who writes following Sridhar Swami's statements will be respected by and accepted by everyone. But later on we'll learn that there are some acharyas who differed from Sridhar Swami also, but they are also such great acharyas like Jiva Goswami or Sanatana Goswami. We cannot compare anybody to them. They were the personal associates of the Supreme Lord in various leelas, in various times. So we should know that. Then the second personality is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, his time was 1630 to 1725, and his tika is Sartha Darshini tika. And in this tika, he describes, he gives comments on Srimad Bhagavatam. And on occasion, he admits that he takes an idea from the Tosani, that is the Vaishnava Tosani, by the Sanatana Goswami. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, as we are very much acquainted with his style, we know that he has an awesome writing style and his own ideas are astonishingly witty. And his commentary is the cream of everything. Therefore, it deserves to be placed immediately after Bhavartha Deepika. So it is so important. Then the third in the line is Sanatana Goswami. Now, Sanatana Goswami appeared in 1482 and he stayed in this material world till 1564. And his commentary is known as Brihat Vaishnava Tosani, or the big Vaishnava Tosani, a commentary exclusively on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in tradition, Sanatana Goswami's Vaishnava Tosani was renamed Brihat Vaishnava Tosani after Jiva Goswami edited it to make his own version. According to another commentator known as Puri Dasa, he is also very famous. The real name of Sanatana Goswami's commentary was Vaishnava Tosani Sri Dasama Tippani, the glosses of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam for delight of the Vaishnavas. Now the word Tippani also signifies gloss or notes. Now often Sanatana Goswami follows on the lines of Sridhar Swami's explanation before giving further interpretations. That's why they are in line. Now Sanatana Goswami seeks to write every verse to the last drop. His humility even speaks, makes even the stones to melt. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur helps one to climb the ladder of bhakti, and Sanatana Goswami makes one to reach on the top. That is his contribution of Sanatana Goswami. Therefore, his commentary is very, very important. Then the next one is Jiva Goswami. Now here we will come to know of some controversies. Now, Jiva Goswami, he appeared, as you know, he is the nephew of Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. Their brother Vallabha, his son, was Jiva Goswami. He appeared in 1515 and stayed till 1600. Now he revised the Brihad Vaishnava Tosani of Sanatana Goswami at his own request only. Sanatana Goswami had requested him to revise it, and his commentary is known as Laghu Vaishnava Tosani. It means the small Vaishnava Tosani. But don't think it is small. The number of pages are almost the same. And therefore, as I said, Puridasa, he gave the name Sankshepa Vaishnava Tosani or abridged Vaishnava Tosani to this. Now, in Puridasa's edition, Brihad Vaishnava Tosani consists of 594 pages, whereas Laghu Vaishnava Tosani gives 556 pages. That means they are almost the same size, but they are described differently. And in Sarad Darshini, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur urges the name Vaishnava Tosani indiscriminately, and likewise for the name Bhagavat Gathamrita. Now, all these acharyas see right through the paper on which a verse is written, let alone the verse itself. They see everything what is there in that. And but please remember that at times Jiva Goswami explains Sridhar Swami's commentary also, and on occasions the portions of Laghu Vaishnava Tosani, they are translated as a footnote in the section of Bhavartha Deepika of Sridhar Swami. And to further lighten the translation of Laghu Vaishnava Tosani, the footnotes in the same Brihad Vaishnava Tosani, they are not shown again. Now, Laghu Vaishnava Tosani marks a radical shift in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, because Jiva Goswami, he deleted some portions of Sanatana Goswami's philosophical explanations which are in line with Sridhar Swami's statements, and some of Sanatana Goswami's emotional interpretations. But please remember that this was edited by Jiva Goswami on the request of Sanatana Goswami only, and that's why it is so important. Now, Jiva Goswami clearly says that he himself follows Ramanuja, and Jiva Goswami's close friend was Gopal Bhatta Goswami. As you know, he was a previous Sri Vaishnava. And in the Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami specifies that Gopal Bhatta is the original compiler of the Sandarbhas and not Jiva Goswami. That also we have seen. And Sridhar Swami's writings, some of the comments, they are criticized by Jiva Goswami also. And Rupa Goswami was the first Gaudiya Vaishnava to point out that Sridhar Swami's commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam is not perfect. Sridhar Swami made blatant mistakes in the commentary of Bhagavad Gita also. But these acharyas, they can say because they have got the authority. We should read them as it is, nothing more than that. Like, what is the point of difference here is that Rupa Goswami proved Sridhar Swami was wrong in Bhavartha Deepika on the topic of deluge at the end of every Manvantara by quoting the scripture. There is no deluge after every Manvantara. That is what is. But these are the difference of opinions amongst the acharyas. We should not try to interpret them. We should read them as it is. Then one word about Kramasandarbha. Kramasandarbha is the very own commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam. Some say it is named in this way because Jiva Goswami includes sequentially his statements in the 6 Sandarbhas, and there are verses about that. And in Krama Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami does not comment on each verse. And in the 10th canto, for the most part, he refixes the syntax and rephrases the ideas set forth in the Laghu Vaishnava Tosani. And when he does so, often the translation given in Laghu Vaishnava Tosani follows the syntax of the same idea edited in Krama Sandarbha. So then we come to Baladev Vidyavosana. Now, Baladev Vidyabhusana is the author of Vaishnava Nandini. Vaishnava Nandini means it delights the Vaishnavas. He often paraphrases Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And in translation of Vaishnava Nandini, it is placed after Kramasandharva, which follows Laghu Vaishnava Tausani. But on occasion, Vaishnava Nandini is placed after Saratha Darshini Tika. And according to Haridas Dasa, Vaishnava Nandini is only a commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Srinath Pandita. Srinath Pandita, he appeared in the year 1500. And the Baladev Vidyabhusana, he had appeared in 1680. And he stayed for almost 100 years till 1780. And he had appeared in Remuna, where Khirochara Gopinath temple is there in Odisha. Then Srinath Pandita, as I said, he appeared in 1500. He wrote Chaitanya Mattamanjusa. And it is the first Gaudiya Vaishnava commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. And in their respective editions, Puridasa and Krishna Sankara Shastri, they refer to him as Srinath Chakravarti. However, in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in the Vaishnava Digdarshini, he is called Srinath Pandita. He was a disciple of Advaita Acharya and he was the guru of the spiritual master of Kavi Karnapura. He was that famous. And what Mataji was giving that the verse, very famous verse, Aradhya Bhagavan Prajestanaya Tadham Vrindavanam. And it is also quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita. The meaning is the Lord who is to be worshipped is the son of the king of Braja, and his abode is Vrindavana. The most delightful method of worship is the one conceived by the young wives of Braja, that is the gopis. And the scripture is called Srimad Bhagavatam, is the spotless means of valid knowledge, and the highest love is the goal of life. And these are the opinions of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Therefore, we have to have the highest respect for them. And Srinath Pandita follows the readings of Sridhar Swami edition of Bhagavatam. And Haridas Dasa, he specifies that Srinath Pandita wrote his commentary after looking at Sridhar Swami's commentary. So this is about Srinath Pandita. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Now his commentary is known as Tathya, and it is also presented from time to time. Sometimes an entry is simply a translation from his word by word for word rendering for in Sanskrit, which he did in that form. And he arranged the words of a verse in proper order, and he gave a synonym for each word. As we know, the very striking thing about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is that he writes very, very difficult words in his translation, and you will have a real difficulty understanding. He was so good at English literature. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also did the synectical connection of each verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu along with a gloss of every word based on the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. And on occasion, Bhagavat Tatparya, the commentary of Madhavacharya, is also shown in his commentary. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur based his translation of Bhagavatam on the commentaries of Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, like this. And since he occasionally rendered in Bengali, he also takes use the writings of Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha, Veera Raghava, Ballavacharya, and Sukadev Maharaj. And then let us go on to Ramanujacharya. Now Vijay Tirtha and Veera Raghava's readings of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are almost the same, although their readings sometimes differ from the other Acharya's reading. And Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha, who appeared in the 14th century, who followed the readings, the edition of Bhagavatam used by Madhavacharya. And he is recipient of an honorable mention by Jiva Goswami in Tattva Sandarbha also. They are so eminent personalities. Then Ramanujacharya, actually he did not give any commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. But Veera Raghava, he filled the gap in a very remarkable fashion. He often elucidates Sridhar Swami's commentary, and his own ideas are well thought out. Then about Ballavacharya, Ballavacharya appeared in 1479 and stayed till 1531. He was a great Vaishnava, and he obtained personal association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on several occasions. And the sannyas guru of Ballavacharya was Madhavendra Puri. And moreover, in 1668, in his Srinath deity, his Srinath deity was brought from Govardhan to Nathadwara in Rajasthan. If anybody would have gone there to Nathadwara, I happened to have gone there and seen that deity who came from Vrindavan. And the darshan of the deity is accompanied with the vibrant enthusiasm of the local devotees. And Rupa Goswami honorably refers to Ballavacharya when he says that another name of Raganuga Bhakti is Pushti Marga. It is given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. And in Ballavacharya's system, the Maryada Marga is open to men in the first three castes, whereas Pushti Marga is open to all. And he strongly emphasized the necessity of obtaining the Lord's mercy. Then next we go to Sukadev's commentary. Sukadev's commentary is known as, he is not Sukadev Goswami who is telling Srimad Bhagavatam, is somebody else. His commentary is Siddhanta Pradipa. And that the commentary is very, very scholarly, and he often follows Sridhar Swami and Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada quoted Sukadeva in his purport in Srimad Bhagavatam in many occasions. And to avoid confusion in the translation, the name of the commentary, that is in Siddhanta Pradipa, is written instead of his name and not in the footnotes. So these are the various commentators about whom we will be talking, and sometimes we will be discussing, we will be mentioning about Vamsidhara Pandita and Ganga Sahai also. Their commentaries are not so popular as Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Sridhar Swami, or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So with this, I come to an end of today's session. Now this session is open for comments or any question by any of the devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay. Before I end, just Prabhuji, I want to give two clarifications. Yesterday, when in the question answer session, when we were talking, a point came, where does Vaivasava Manu he stay? But this was asked by, I think, Sanjeev Prabhuji, and the answer has been given by Archana Mataji rightly. And when I looked up at Bhagavat cosmology, I'll just read out what is given. In Ramyak Vatsa, Vaivatsava Manu, the ruler of the land, even now worships in pure devotional service the dear form of Matsya, who revealed himself to Manu previously by chanting various mantras. The Lord revealed himself during Chakyasa Manvantara when there was a flood. So that is the time he is talking about. Then the next was, this question was also asked by someone. We were talking about the Vedic literature, whether they exist in the higher planetary systems also. Now, as I was telling you, it is given in Tattva Sandarbha. In the Tattva Sandarbha with commentary of Baladev Vidyabhusana, he quotes a verse from Matsya Purana. Now, the Matsya Purana verse says that the Puranas are divided into 18 with 400,000 verses. That is, 4 lakh verses during each Dwapara Yuga on earth. Now, even today in heavenly planets, the verses number a billion. That means the billion verses which existed, they are there. Their meaning has condensed into 400,000 verses. And this is given in Matsya Purana. Now, regarding whether Srimad Bhagavatam exists in the higher planetary systems, now, as we know, what is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, everything that is given in the 1 billion verses, and separately there is no Srimad Bhagavatam in the higher planetary systems. So that is what is the explanation. So with this, let me unshare the stop sharing. Okay. Now the session is open for question and answers and comments. Thank you very much. I think yes, Radha Vinod Prabhuji, he was asking.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah. So elaborate. It's better to know different acharyas, because Srila Prabhupada quotes in between and know their background. You are so nicely you are giving. So where the controversies are there. I just have one more. As I understand, Baldev Vidyabhushan also written a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, Prabhuji, right? For us.
Who?
Baldev Vidyabhushan.
Yes.
He has written a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, those 555 or whatever.
Vidyabhushan is one of the commentators whose commentary will be using this.
Yeah. So that is the one. Second, Prabhuji, when you see the, commentaries of acharyas, one acharya is quoting another acharya is quoting something, or and you mentioned very polite, nicely that we have to accept as it is, because they're so just to at the backup of mind, or for my understanding, maybe are these a different perspective, because Krishna's leelas nothing is straightforward. So everything is meant for interpretation. Most of the leelas, most of the things that he does are meant for interpretation for a different there. So they may not be. Are they wrong, or it's just they see different sides of that? How to look at that?
Okay, when we see these controversies, we should not think that so and so is right and so is wrong, but they are they are correct from the perspective. From a particular perspective, they are described. Like there are many of the examples. Like I will tell you, I will not discuss about that today. We can discuss because that is a big matter. Like this chap in the war of Mahabharata, Karna was killed. Now Arjuna was told by Krishna to kill him, but he was not have he had not lifted any arms at that time. Why it was that? Somebody will say that was right, wrong, like this, like Tulsi Devi. Why her chastity was violated by Vishnu? Somebody will say something, somebody else will say something. We'll talk about all these things one day, but please remember they have got a perspective and there are solid reasons, valid reasons for differing. And ultimately, those differences are nothing actually. Like we have already seen Jiva Goswami and the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Sokya and Parakya, they are totally different, 100% different. But if you analyze them, they are saying the same thing. They are saying the same thing, but from a different perspective. That's why they are appearing as different to us. Now, Jiva Goswami, he did not like the Parakya relationship. That's why he said that the gopis, they were married. And that's why in this Gopal Champu, he is given in very detail how they were married and all that. But ultimately, he is also saying the same thing, that their husbands were illusory. They were not married. And at the end also, I remember toward the end of Gopal Champu, it came out that these illusory gopis, they were a separate set. And the original gopis, they were also different. So that means all are saying the same thing, but from a different perspective. That's why it looks contradictory to us many a times because of our understanding. But none of these acharyas, they are saying anything which is contrary. They are saying the same thing actually.
Yeah, Prabhuji, just to add, I'll leave the platform to others. So as you gave very wonderful this example, so it brings at least more details into that, right? So when he says one differs from another, so Parkiya Ras and examples are coming, it gives a more understanding to us also, right? So that is how someone. So some down the line tries to put these two together, like, and says that it means same as you explained now. So that's also good, right, Rosie?
Yes, yes, yes. We'll try to understand and don't think that I have got all the knowledge, I know everything, I can answer your all questions. It is not so. My knowledge is extremely limited, and all of us will try and find out the answers. And we are working as a team only, and I am just coordinating. That's what it is. Because I also do not have the complete, so-called complete knowledge of the Shastra, that I am far from it. That's why I will not be able to answer all your questions. That I am very, very sure. But we are making a try, and whatever we know, we are sharing. That is what is this gathering is there. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I was just wanting to make one comment on that. How is it that Vaivashvata Manu is worshipping Matsya Avatar? You saw in the picture that he is worshipping Matsya Avatar.
Yes, yes.
So, just a comment that Satyavrata king who gave shelter to Matsya in the beginning, Matsya avatar, when it came as a small fish in his kamandalu, and then it outgrew the kamandalu, then went to so he went on putting it in a bigger water body until it reached the sea, and then he even outgrew the sea and the ocean, and Satyavrata Muni was amazed at how is it that you are not an ordinary person. Who are you? And then Matsya Avatar revealed himself and told him what he should do to bring the boat and all that. So then, in his next avatar, when in the next Manvantara comes, then he is the one. Satyavrata king only becomes a Vaivashvata Manu.
Yes,
And that's why he is worshipping Matsya avatar.
yes, yes. Yes, yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for explaining this. That is very, very right.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanak Pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, thank you very much. A very wonderful class and great lineup of all the wonderful acharyas. So, firstly, I also thank you for finding the answer for the questions we have yesterday. That's good to know. So, so many different acharyas have given wonderful writing. And as Prabhuji said, there are controversy maybe to make it more interesting or to give us deeper insight. How will you, like, I just wanted to understand your plan. Like, let's say you're doing Canto 10, Chapter 1, then you'll be reading all these books to figure out what they say about Chapter 1, or how will you, like, plan out? I'm just very, very curious. How will you incorporate all these different medical writings and teachings in the course as we go through? It's just out of curiosity.
Yes, yes. These commentaries, they are very, very exhaustive. They are so exhaustive that in many, many years we will not be able to finish all of them. But it is an attempt. But I'll take on a certain thing, and the other thing is we will not be able to understand everything, because beyond a point, even we do not have much knowledge of Sanskrit grammar also. But whatever are the main aspects, that we will discuss, so that our understanding of those verses from the very beginning will be there and will come to know. And not only that I am reading this book, but many of the discourses by our acharyas, the present day acharyas, whatever I have heard, that also I have taken into account. Not that what I am speaking, that is only on the basis of the commentary of the acharyas, it is there. So, like in the first and the second verses, it is said that the Yadus, they were very, very righteous, religious, but there are opposing points also. If you remember, Yadu, he did not obey his father. Then if somebody does not obey his father, how can he be righteous like this? But there are so many explanations, and which are very right. Because of our lack of knowledge, we try to think there are contradictions. But please understand that there are no contradictions in anything. If it is there, then our knowledge is lacking. We do not know. That's why we are thinking so and so is saying this thing. Why somebody he disobeyed his father, and still how can he be described as righteous like this? But when you hear the explanation, you will realize that he was right in not accepting his father's words. So like this, there are very great things you will be learning, and I am very sure they will be very, very interesting, and you will like them very much. But
Thank you, Prabhu.
but I will be presenting as per my capability. I also do not know everything. I also do not have understanding of each and everything. But whatever little I have, I want to share, and all of you also should share what you have about this, and will be benefited in this. Like this one example, this Vaivatsava Manu, he stays in which area, like this. I had no idea, though I had the book also, but in detail I had not written. But when Archana Mataji gave, then I referred the book. It is given like these 9 deepas, 9 islands, which are in this saltwater ocean. One very interesting thing I came to know when I read it. These 9 islands are there. They are surrounded by the saltwater ocean. But has somebody till now gone to the Ramek Varsa? No. Our scientists, our aircrafts, our jets, have they been able to cross that area? No. Why? That is given in this book. The book is entitled Bhagavata Cosmology. That is a very authentic book, published, that is written by the ISKCON author only, ISKCON devotee. It says that you cannot go from one person to the other, one island to the other. So like this, there are very many interesting things which are there. So these things.
So this Varsha, like we are in this Bharat Varsh, right?
Yes.
The earth is Bharat Varsh. The
Yes.
Manu you said is a Ramyak Varsh. That's a completely different loka or like
Hey, that
physical
is
dimension.
not a different loco in this material world only. It is not elsewhere. It is there like the.
It's in Bhumandala.
Yes, yes.
In Bhumandala.
In the
So when I will do the 5th canto, Prabhu, I will be doing then you will know exactly how, because I will be doing a short. I may
That
take
will be wonderful.
for 5th canto. I may take 2 classes because 5th canto is very detailed. So
Yes, yes.
I'm
There is no issue at all. You can take as many. Because that is very difficult canto is the 5th canto because it gives the Vedic cosmology there.
yes. So there I will be discussing all this, Prabhu.
Yes, 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 yes.
One,
You have this book,
yeah.
Bhagavad Cosmology.
Yes, I have Vedic cosmology.
Yes, this is
Yes.
very good,
I have
very good. But I have not gone through it completely.
I
Here
have a
I
couple
have.
of books, Prabhu, because I'm very much interested in this. So I have been doing a lot of reading on this and heard a lot of lectures. So I like Vedic cosmology a lot.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. One more thought, Prabhuji. So we say this Nashta Prayashu Abhritu, Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Seva. Nityam Bhagavata Seva, and then we say regular attendance in the Bhagavatam class. So one way, of course, is this, the classes we attend. The other way, you also said in the temple or anywhere, or we read ourselves. But there is also this many Prabhupada lectures or there's this Amal Bhakta Prabhu who has uh, narrated the whole Bhagavatam and it's there online in Prabhupada.com. So if we listen to that, that is also part of this, right? Nityam Bhagavad Seva. That is also Bhagavad Seva.
Yes, yes. Like there are so many things given in the electronic form. We listen to them. That is also Bhagavad Sevaya. That's why what Prabhupada says, we should use everything for in this path of devotional service. If we use the mobile phone for talking to anybody and everybody and gossip and all that, that is not the aim. If we are using this, there is no problem at all. And we should try to do that and minimally for other purposes. So that is there. I keep on listening almost throughout the day. Whenever I have got time, I have got so much material I cannot finish only in any time frame. So you get something or the other, then you note down. Then what happens before the classes? I have to read, listen many times to these, make notes. Then only it comes in the purified or final form. So it takes a lot of efforts also. And if we can indulge in these activities, then our we'll be able to pass time also, and we are fulfilling the desires of the Supreme Lord also. And in that, actually, what will happen ultimately, if we keep on doing this, then the Lord will appear in our heart. We'll remember the Lord. And as we read in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, if we remember the Lord at the time of death, then we have achieved our perfection. And that is what is the test. That is what is the test of life. The test of life is just at the end only, not during the lifetime. And we are trying to do that. Toward that aim we are moving. And that's why we should indulge in these things only. And the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, that is very, very important. And if you can make the rule for yourself that you will hear or utter at least one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that will be totally perfect. And if you read the Bhagavat Mahatmya or Bhagavad Gita Mahatmya, you will find that only. You should read the one verse or half a verse or a part of a verse every day, then you will achieve perfection in your life. So they are such simple things, and we should try to follow them.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very inspirational. And thank you again for coming up with these classes. And yeah, Chana Mataji, very eager to hear that Vedic cosmology and other narration of nine cantos from Hare Krishna.
Thank
We
you, Prabhu.
are thankful to her.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I want to share one thing with all of you.
Yes, yes.
जब हम वो फॉर्म सीखे हैं कृष्णा के भागवतम के जो रूप है, फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड कैंटो एंड जो है पूरा, तो जब हम भगवान, हमारे शिक्षा गुरु ने बताया था कि जब हम कृष्णा के दर्शन करते हैं तब हमें सारे कैंटो को ऐसे देख के याद करना चाहिए मन में.
Yes.
तो
yes.
उससे हमें बहुत ही अच्छा मतलब ब्लेसिंग्स मिलते हैं. ऐसा जब भी हम कृष्णा के दर्शन करें तो हमें सारे कैंटो कौन कौन से कहाँ कहाँ है वो सब हमें याद आना चाहिए. वो हमने बहुत अच्छे से सीखा था माता प्रभु जी.
Yes,
हरे
yes.
कृष्ण.
That is very nice, very good interpretation. So if there are no questions or any comments, then I'll request Sagar Prabhuji to do the needful by ending today's class by the sing of prayers, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obsession. All go to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhai. Namaste Narasimhai. Prahlada Dahine. Prahlada Dahine. Hiranyakasi Purvaksahan. Hiranyakasi Purvaksahan. Silatankar Nathale. Silatankar Nathale. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Yami To Narsimha. Ito Yami To Narsimha. Bhai Narsimha Hriday Narsimha. Bhai Narsimha Hriday Narsimha. Narasingha Madin Saranam Prapade. Narasimhamadin Saranam Prapade. Tava Kala Kamala Bhare. Nakadbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanabringam Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Tavakala Kamala Bhare Nakadbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanabringam Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, चारू प्रभु की जय, शरद प्रभु की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, ऑल assembled devotee की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। दंडवत प्रणाम शरद प्रभु।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Then we meet next weekend. We'll be starting the Bhaktamal classes and Srimad Bhagavatam in the correct, in the right perspective. Till that time, I thank everybody to have a nice weekend, not to actually weekend, nice week. And I'll end the class with praying to Lord Nrsingadev to take away all the obstacles which will be on our path. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dandavat
Archana
pranam.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam. Thank you.